Hello, I'm in the middle of the Amazons. Here, the Amazons. There, the Amazon River. Typical Sagittarius traveler. And I am covering now. Sagittarius, I am way too late. I have a pretty damn good excuse. It was a very hectic month. My mom was, unfortunately, all at once very bad, and she passed away December 16th. And well, this one is for hers. You know, Sagittarius, traveling. And here I am for the first time in my life, so far away from my cold home country, Belgium. And on top of that, my mom passing away during the Jupiter joyous Sagittarius month. It is, but Sagittarius always looks for the deeper meaning and sees the silver lining even in the worst of biggest of challenges of life. Always always looking for the bigger picture and higher perspectives. So even if I'm late, which maybe is also something of Sagittarius, I don't think so. Being late, no, I don't think so. But the traveling part, they like to expand their mind, and by traveling literal to places where they've never been, where the world is different as they know it, or with books, they like to learn with the purpose of finding the answers to life. And even when they find out we are too complex and life is too complex to find the answers of life, they know that maybe what's the point in keep on searching, because the answer to life is that you don't have to search. Life is just life. You have to live it. You have to trust it. But they keep on searching anyway, because it is so stronger than themselves. And being a Sagittarius myself, Sun and some other planets, I know. So it's a fire sign. It has a lot of energy. It will really wants to be inspired, and by being inspired themselves, they tend to inspire sometimes other persons. They are adaptable. They don't like to be stuck in one way, but if they need, they will be flexible. And it's a sattvic sign, meaning that the energy of Sagittarius is is an energy pure. They do the things because they love to do it, not because wherever Sagittarius energies is the real joy for what it brings to their soul, not just it's a nice massage because it's physically does good for my muscles, but something deep in them is it's bigger than life, what it brings to them. Anyway, they have high expectations of life, and this can sometimes be a bummer for them um when they if you have high expectations, sooner or later life brings you down, and it brings down everybody. But when you're very high up in the clouds and you fall down, it can hurt pretty bad. um but they're resilient to just continue again and pick themselves up and learn from it. Like I said, seeing the silver lining and finding the deeper meaning. They will see in the darkness. They will look for the light, and they're not afraid of the dark. It can be a very restless like this, because finding the answers to life is very hard for them to binge watch Netflix series unless it's something very funny, makes them laugh. But otherwise, they will, want to see documentaries or read books or anything that expands their mind. Let me see. Let's go to the wheel of Sagittarius. Sagittarius rising, but it also corresponds a lot with your sun or your moon, lesser degree, or if you have a lot of important planets in Sagittarius. So yeah, I just swam in the Amazon River and I'm still alive. How cool is that? So they're kind of daredevils. They can take risks to get to their goals, and this is why they often reach some of their goals in their lives that others will not, because they are not afraid to take risks. Also, sometimes they do things they're not ready for, and they're gonna do it anyway, and then okay, it doesn't work out. When it comes to their energy, they normally have like a stable energy, but sometimes it can get kind of stuck. It needs to be like a little bit controlled. So every day to keep some energy for every day, not just blast it all out. But they tend to keep their energy. It's not like Aries, here's my energy and then no more energy. They tend to organize it. And when it comes to their traditional values and how they take care of themselves, and their self-worth, they are stable, but it takes hard work, and they can have the feeling that it takes so much longer than anyone else for them to have the resources for themselves when it comes to, in the Western world, to finances. They like to have a stability there, even when they're very, very generous and adventurous. They do like a stability in their finances, but it's hard work for them, and it often comes later in life, or maybe much later in life, when they're after their 40s, 50s, and it takes work. And unless you have other significant indications in your chart, it doesn't show that they're going to be like super wealthy when it comes to finances. I don't know. I mean, rich, the resources. I don't mean like wealthy, because I'm wealthy now. I'm not rich. I'm here, the lungs of the world, drinking water from a well from the earth. How wealthy can you get, no? So for food also, it is good for them to not indulge and just, be controlled with their intake of their meals. Not too much, maybe small portions, maybe more cold food, maybe raw, and anything else. Well, when the things they collect for themselves. I talked about finances, but when they do investments, they should, unless other indications, always should not be into risky stuff. Stay to the things that always work, like gold, silver, or houses. Don't go gambling in some crazy things, or that you don't have any clue of. I mean, or just like crypto or anything like that. Maybe it doesn't work so good for them. But of course, if you want to play with that, fine. But then don't play with all you have. Just with a little bit to learn about it. So yeah, there's no fast money for them. Normally, it's step by step. And when it comes to taking care of themselves and their resources, they like older things, or it's just they can wear clothes that are, it still fits, like 20 years old or even older, until it's they don't separate so easily from their old jeans or their something that you should look at my clothes. At one point I stopped fitting, so I had to throw them out, but anyway, yeah, I'm one of those keeping stuff and that still fits, and then Why buy new things? They are, or can also translate into antiques. They like old stuff, or they stones. They like stones and gather them. Um, they are intelligent when it comes to the communication. Intelligent in the way that different intelligence. They are drawn to read about, think about, communicate about, talk about the unusual, untraditional. They are interested in authentic, untraditional topics, people, and they are easy to talk to. Um, they will go with you in whatever topic, but they prefer to talk about things that are weird even, and also they um can sometimes, when I say intelligence, have some insights or ideas that are like out of the box, and they can follow a certain structure in their thinking, and they can learn through structures, but still they are not the traditional student. It's possible that they learn better in other ways than how school traditionally learns, put stuff in our head. Let me put it like that. Anyway, what else? What else? What else? Because they don't mean bad, but sometimes I don't know why things they can just blurt out, and it can be shocking, apparently, for people. Um, but they don't mean it as an insult or to hurt you or to shock you. It's just something that they can do without maybe, realizing that whatever is they saying is shocking. Um, Something else, they are, side shocking. Normally they're friendly, uh, but in the beginning they will also maybe keep a healthy distance. I don't know how to call it. Yeah, maybe they're friendly, but they need their space. Maybe that's it. They do need some space in their communication with their friends, um, with their surroundings. Um, oh yeah. So when it comes to their home life, as I said, I started with saying Sagittarius is so known for being a traveler and wanting to roam the world, the gypsy, but no place like home, even for Sagittarius, for their deep emotional well-being, their foundation, their psychological, emotional well-being. They really like to have a place called home, and um, they have an emotional, maybe they're unaware of it, spiritual connection bond with their family, their ancestors, their home country, their traditions. And they are even very, very sensitive when it comes to that, in how, feeling a connection, feeling the feelings of the others in their family or ancestors. Um, can be a good thing and a bad thing, that they lack boundaries, and they have to learn to, um, when it's not healthy anymore, to put boundary. It's also possible in that their home was near water. Oh, they should live near water. It's very emotional healing for them. Or it's possible they actually live next to water or were brought up in a family that was into art or into music. In my case, my house was full of music and musicians, and there was or other kinds of arts, and that's the good manifestation. Or when one of the parents, mom or maybe the dad who's main caretaker. The downside is that upside is that they are spiritual, very also emotional, empathic, and compassionate, and very sensitive. And the downside is that they maybe that they had a parent that was kind of lost, and that can translate in many ways. No, like literally was not there, or taking some substances to be out of this world. The mind, addicts or victim-like states, people that you need to take care of. It's also possible that the Sagittarius has somebody in the family that, I don't mean victim like in the bad way, but more like a person that really needs to be taken care of because maybe it's not so healthy or sick, and that's a possibility. Because Sagittarius in the home front, it's very healing to be home for them, but also an emotional give them emotional stability. But because they don't have so much boundaries there, they're very adaptable, and it's less in a material way. So they're in their deepest psychological emotional sense, they are not materialistic. Even they like comfort and beauty. Look at this. But in their deepest sense, they are like, they find more the spiritual meaning in their family more important than the material stuff. So when they are really expressing their divine solar self, they are very active. They like to be busy. They really go with all their energy into it. They like to start anything, like, that when it comes from their true soul, they're passionate what they're passionate about. And it can be anything, from swimming till singing to taking care of your kids or just go playing outside. They will be they will not You will not be able to stop them. So if they want something, they have a lot of energy for it to start, and a lot of courage, and to take risks, like I already said. um this is why they also have a good chance to fulfill their desires, what they want in life, and they just go for it. And maybe not see all the small details. They just go for it. And the downside is that they can lose faster the interest, and when things don't are not so interesting anymore, and they get bored, or they may easily, don't have the character to pull through, to keep going. And they might start a few times in their life, and they are great to play with kids, like actively, no, not reading a story. Well, I like it, but I mean in general, they're more like playing active sports. They are very often sports like. There are many ways of moving your body, and it's part of yeah, their soul expression. And many times their firstborn kid is also like this, Aries like. They have like my daughter has moon in Aries, you see. It's true. And what else? Yes, also they're very creative. They go for it. They express it with enthusiasm. They are like, here I am. And they go also when they are when does your sun start to shine? When you're in love with something or a person, and then it cannot go fast enough. They want it now, and then they don't shy away to go after it. Again, unless you have other indications in your chart. So they're not subtle then. They can be reckless gamblers. Of course, if you're reckless in gambling, you can win some, you can lose some. Also with their businesses, then win some, lose some. They can spend a lot on their children and on whatever they're interested into, starved. Win some, lose some. When it comes to having a job, you have a job to pay your bills, no? So you have a problem, is you have a bill. It's a problem. You have to solve it by a job. So how they address their problems in their life, or with your health, and that is, your health is a problem because you have to do something to keep it. Normally, they don't have so many problems in their life with others. And when they're in a job, most of the time they are kind, sweet. They are liked. They're even when they're in a manager position, or in a position that you have to guide people, they are very likable and sweet, and they don't create themselves problems in that area. They are kind of fixed when it comes to a daily job, because they like the finances that come from it, the security and the safety. That maybe you don't see that in Sagittarius, but they like the finances that come from a fixed job, unless other indications, like in mine with Uranus in it and stuff like that. They, if they're happy in their daily job, they will like to stick with it. And just also with their health routine, if they have a good one, they will stick easily to it. If they have a bad one, it's difficult for them to get out, more difficult. Most of the time when they have health problems, when it comes from food, it's from indulgence in sweets, anything that's sugar in, and like chocolate and cookies, and they put sugar in everything, even in whatever, everything. But also like in alcohol, it's a lot of sugar. So they can, if they overindulge there because they really like that, like I said, they should control their food and more small portions, and maybe raw, and not so much that is the same as small portions, Crystal. Yeah, but overall, they can, especially for the men, they can find love in their work area. Or problem, they can have problem with women, but women can have problem with women in the work area. It's a possibility. Anything else here? Meet a partner in your job. Yeah, like I said, the addictions, your health problems is, too much of the good stuff, too much of the sweet things in life, and too much always leads to problem. Apparently you have to just sip until you get the idea of being drunk, and not drink until you're drunk. I have to learn that myself. Doing it. Amazon, no alcohol, nothing. Only water from the well. No cookies, no chocolate here. Where are we? Yeah. So they like to see the bigger picture and are so philosophical. They're gurus, they're teachers. They are not so much. They can be. Everybody can be have a religion, but it's more about the world view than a specific religion. And they are mutable, so they can change. They really maybe don't like the opinion of too many. Well, they don't mind the opinion of other people, but they often don't change their mind so easily by the opinion of somebody else. But if there is enough, weight in the basket, they adapt and they change their opinion. But as long as they have their opinion, they can be very, fixing it for a while. And if you have a Sagittarius that really likes to preach, it can be very, because they're so passionate about it. I asked my daughter once, I said, what is the most annoying thing about me? She says, when you get so passionate and you don't stop talking about whatever it is I'm passionate about. Yeah, but she says, but it's fine, because if this is the most annoying thing about me, that's pretty awesome. Okay, so about one-to-one relationship, most of the time person you marry or have kids with or you buy a house with, but can also be a business partner, somebody that really you have, you know, intense contact with and like contract with even. They attract the Gemini like person, the one that is looks at the details, and because Sagittarius is like looking like head in the sky and it's the big picture, and then the partner will say, yeah, but you know, you have to first we have to open an account with the bank, we have to have a bookkeeper, and then we have to register in this and that, and you know, really when the administration or the skills for something, you know, how to fix your washing machine, very practical, but also they are themselves very communicative in the relationship, and they really need a partner that is communicative and that's not boring, that is interested in a lot of things that such person can learn from also, like, but completely other things, because such will be like fixing a washing machine. Let me see, or you know, they're in, maybe they will not really be interested in the washing machine, but they're interested in the fact that the person can do it. They will be like, wow, if you can do that, all these things that I cannot do. They like somebody that also has a busy life, maybe a businessman or businesswoman, or somebody has a lot of interests also, and humorous, witty, that they can laugh with. Maybe even like not younger per se in age, but a young mentality and a young attitude. Otherwise, Sagittarius will get really bored, especially when there's no communication. And they when they lose interest in general, I'm talking about all, when they lose interest, when they are bored, they can easily just, you know, bye and forget about the relationship. So they can have more than one relationship in the life. These days, many people can have that, so it's not so special anymore. I mean, not the relationship before you get married or have a kid, but the one that you choose to, you know, go for it. Yeah, so they are really attracted, and also sexually attracted, to people that can communicate, that they can share ideas with, can talk about life, about everything. Even, you know, Sagittarius will maybe go for the big topics of life, and their partner will maybe just do the gossip and talk about the news. That then Sagittarius is a little bit like, yeah, but it's good for Sagittarius to have somebody also in their life like that, you know. Somebody diverse, stimulating, you know, changeable. Busy bee, a partner that is lying in the bed all day, and it's not nice for nobody, but it's, I don't know, maybe it is nice for, I cannot talk for everybody. Okay, so when things go really rough, Sag, they can be like the, if it's not a crisis for themselves, but for other people, there can really be like the mother type of energy where people turn to. They have a good intuition in crisis situations, but they're also themselves very emotional, and it touches them deep. So for them also is the best to turn to home, take their time, in a place that's called home, solve before they solve any other issues in their life. I can say traumas, but you know, it's a big word. With their family first before they solve anything else. They're very warm and comforting and emotional, available in crisis situations, even you know, when they really feel it themselves very deep. They can be like a healer, a trauma healer, traumatic healer. They, it helps them a lot to talk with their own family, or you know, their husband, father, mother, brother, children, the small circle, when there is a huge crisis. Something else. Yeah, they feel it in their stomach when something's off. So they have they're they're very sensitive, and they have a strong intuition when a person, or is going through a hard time, or when a person is just off. Like, you think there's something off with this person, it's not being authentic, or is not completely showing his true self, and they adapt more easily to a crisis. Very sensitive, very emotional. They adapt, will be mother-like for other persons, will be there like a mom, doing what is necessary. And they have themselves a deep emotional need for transformation. They go through life, they're all, sometimes if you just see the surface of Sagittarius, it's like happy-go-lucky, but they really want to go into the depth that we will see also in the end. It's getting dark now. I have to hurry up. Not much light here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I already said they're very proud, and they shine when it comes to traveling and exploring the bigger fruits of life. Can also be through higher education and universities, or philosophical studies, or just talking with wise persons. And they're very proud about what they learn, and they love to show off. This sounds bad, but in a good way, why not show what you're good at? And talking about it, coaching others, guiding others, is actually what they're very good at. And they can be, like if because guiding others, coaching others is also like just being a very good dad, or a father figure, or a mother figure. You can be a father figure even if you're not a father, like a guru-like person, a person that shows you the way. That is something, well, in their line. So when their overall image in the world, that is their career, like their, maybe not, that doesn't have to be the career, but what they're passionate about as their vocation, and what they're maybe known for, is at one point they're seen as somebody who has a specialty. They pick one thing, and they go deep into that. It can maybe look like they're wasting their time for years and years, like what they're doing, wasting their time. But all at once, they just go into the knowledge, and they go deep, 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 and they study, or they can, for a very long time, people think, oh, don't know what they're doing, just, wasting their time, not doing anything. And then all at once they come with, they delved into a subject, they picked it apart, they made it better, they improved it, they've been critical about themselves, and they become a specialist. And that is their vocation. It's what they want for themselves, can turn into a career. And this is what people then at one point see them as. They can be critical of people higher in the hierarchy, for the good or bad. It can be, completely normal, that it's like, to improve the situation. Something else, yeah, but I'm forgetting, and I'm trying to hurry because it's getting dark. Well, whatever I forget, I'm gonna do this all again next year. Well, no, next year, it's already next year, in Dutch. Can have subtitles. Oh yeah, so their big dream in life is, the groups, the friends, the networks they're in, that everybody's happy and everything is in peace, and there's no conflict. They're not happy with conflict. They're again, also easy to talk to in groups. And some people are better one-to-one, of course, but in general, they're easy to communicate because they have all their communication houses in air signs. So, and they have friends that that are allowed into anything that creates beauty. So it can be art, music, paintings, writing books, fashion designers, hair. I am actually just naming my friends. And this is what they often have friends that are into the arts and into the beauty, and often have friends that are good looking as well. Yes, they do. It's just the influence of Venus and Libra there. And they love to have balance between their friends and their networks. Am I forgetting? Yeah, I'm forgetting. Ding. So they also, this is their dream, but they also like to have gains in this together with their friends, um, in finding balance in the world or in with art, which has been my life also. How weird is this screen? I have to stop. I think the connection is losing. So yes, to end everything, even with Sagittarius, looks all happy, shiny, but they go deep. They go deep in their unconscious. They need the transformation. They want to feel the depth of their emotions. Sometimes they're not aware of it. It's their only hidden spot. It's hidden for others. They hide it sometimes for others, how deep they go. And for them to really let go and be able to rest and come into complete surrender of life, they want to go through transformation. So they're letting go, hidden or not hidden from themselves. It's all about deep transformation that often comes through a crisis inside of them or outside of them. That is also what drives them in the end unconsciously, and what will help them also just to surrender. All right, before the Amazon takes away the image, I'm gonna shut it down here. You don't see much now. All right.